Go in there, break up the fight.
I'll be in there fighting too.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Shalom Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Barakathum to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Ilata Bahasham Yahweh Shai to the sisters. This is the California I.S.U.P.K Lashawan Qadash class. The Lashawan Qadash stands for Holy Tongue. It's a biblical tongue given to us by the Lord, passed down to our forefathers. And since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA has been teaching the truth of the Bible as well as the Lashawan Qadash, this holy tongue that we speak about. Unlike the Christian church, where they talk about this holy tongue that they cackle and they run down the aisles and they spread and men are out of the spirit and they act a certain way and it cannot be translated. That is not the truth. The Lashawan Qadash can be translated. It's actually written in the ancient as well as the Assyrian. This has been our language, which we've been beaten and stripped out of it by our oppressors and been given their language, as far as their Spanish, as far as their English, and other languages or what have you. This is our language that the Lord given to us. Like, you know how the Lord says we are a holy people unto himself. This is a holy tongue. And we know holy tongue stands for separate. And this tongue has been given to us. So the best thing that we can do in the I.S.U.P.K is understand our tongue again, the tongue that we've been beaten and raped and stripped out of and been given our oppressors' languages. What we can do is start studying and showing ourselves approved like the Lord wants us to and be a righteous people again. This is what the I.S.U.P.K does. The I.S.U.P.K, builds men, builds women. Because in the American world, they don't want strong men. They want docile, weak men. They want women to be stronger than men. But in actuality, they don't have respect for women. Otherwise, they would tell these women, you don't have to dress like this to be noticed. You don't have to be provocative to be noticed, to even be attracted to. Our women are more important than that, especially if you are of the 12 tribes. They are princesses they're the Lord's princesses. And we have to start learning how to treat our women as well as the men learn how to be men. And the I.S.U.P.K is important because it takes your drug dealer, it takes your pimp, it takes your addict, it takes your robber off the streets and it builds them up to be righteous men. If you want to find righteous men, you go into the I.S.U.P.K. You want to find righteous women, you want to come into the I.S.U.P.K. You don't want to feel like the world has more to offer because you've seen what the world has to offer you. If you look at your Meg Thee Stallion, if you look at your so-called entertainers nowadays, if that's who you want to be like, then you don't have much to offer and you're not thinking about the future of your life because you're happy under your oppressor. Right. Most of these celebrities are happy under their oppressor because the oppressor throws them bones. It gives them little snacks, little mansions. So they start to forget about their people that are at the bottom that they stepped over to get where they're at. But we're in here, we grow together. We are a nation. We're one body. If I'm hungry, my brother's hungry. If I'm full, my brothers is full. You know what I'm saying? My sisters are full because we are one nation, one body, and we love one another. So it's not going to be me getting rich and running to the hills with some people that don't care about me. I'm going to stay right with my people. And that's what we need to do now in these days. We need to get back to this unity that's been destroyed. It's been taken for granted and it's been dismantled. Our nation's been dismantled. They've always had a war against us. The Bible, I'm paraphrasing, the Bible says they have a perpetual hatred. So you can see in the history of how they've done us with attack dogs and the lynchings and the raping of our women, all that. You can see the hatred. Now you can see it in the police, where the police are the new slave catchers, where they're beating young men and beating young girls. They're raping young girls. They're raping, they're doing everything. And at the end of the day, we don't look like the victim. we look like we deserve it. That's how they feel in America. Like I just seen a video of a Caucasian woman in a mall in a Victoria's Secret. She starts spazzing out, and she went up and hit the sister, and the sister's recording her. The white woman, after she hit the girl, she starts screaming and going and sporadic. She started nutting up, and the lady's like, "I didn't hit you, hit me." And she said, "Stop recording me! Stop recording me!" Playing the victim when we know in America there's cameras everywhere.
That's right.
So you're worried about this camera on her phone, but you got a camera as soon as you walked in that store. As soon as you walked in the mall, there was a camera on you. Now her little bitty camera got you tripping and got you chasing her? No, I don't think so. It's the hatred that you had, and you knew if you start screaming and crying, you know those are white American tears that everybody was gonna say, you know what, she's not wrong. When in fact that is very evil. If you don't see a problem with that, anybody that catered to that woman, that's white supremacy at its finest. You wanted the sister to look like an animal when in fact you were behaving like the animal. I don't know if y'all seen the video. Y'all seen the video? Yeah. That was it. I'll show it to you, but it's a video. The lady's recording because she sees the lady spazzing. The white lady comes up and hits her. She's like, "Wait!" And then the white lady starts crying. Ah! Karen starts crying. She gets on the ground. She starts shaking, and she says, "I'm having a breakdown." Now we know as adults, anybody who's having a goddamn breakdown ain't gonna tell you they're having a breakdown.
Yeah,
they're just having a breakdown, and she's telling them, "I'm having a breakdown." And everybody, some people coming up to her trying to feel sorry for her. They told her, the other lady who just got hit, assaulted by this lady, to stop recording. She said, "I ain't gonna stop recording. She just hit me." But the point to that is, this is America. America will make the 12 tribes of Black, Hispanic, the Native Indian person, after being victimized, look like the victimizer, the person who's doing it, when in fact they're getting attacked. So this is why we have to get out of it. We know in America's a spiritual war. We have to step back out of America and prepare ourselves. That's why you get in the I.S.U.P.K, because when you get in here, you get prepared for that war, that spiritual war. We know what's going on, and we're tired of it. Right. Only thing we can do is build the kingdom back up, because the kingdom, from us following these other gods, doing what these heathen nations been doing, we've been taken out of our kingdom. And you see the rulership now, the nations now, they don't care. They can care less. You go into these Arab shops, these Asian shops where they if a woman ain't got $10, they lock them in the damn store and start beating on them. And we know damn well they should not be doing that in our communities. There in our communities, we see a Muslim man who has a liquor store selling pork products. In fact, he doesn't give a damn to eat it, but he will poison the other nations with pork. Right. So we have to get out of these. We have to step away from these nations and build our nations back up, like Black Wall Street and the other great establishments that we had in this nation when we were separated. You notice when we separated, we were doing a lot better than when we integrated with the people who never liked us. People should look up the terminology of secret sauce and where it came from. When we integrated with the so-called white man, when we got over here, after there was segregation and integration, we started eating with them. They had a food called a secret sauce where they had piss and feces, other things that they would probably put in it, and we would be eating that just to sit at the table with these people. We don't need SHALAM. We don't need their secret sauce. We need our secret sauce where we stay the hell away from them, because these people have tried nothing but to poison us. You can look into the meats now. Why are they going vegan? Because y'all done killed every damn thing. Y'all poisoning it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Just the video. I'm sorry. I know you already passed up the video part, and I don't want to take you back. I know. You know what I'm saying? So forgive me. But just on that, when you talk about the video for people for the bride, as that like she was victimized, there was people that really sided up with her on her side, believing she was a victim of our people.
There's one lady walked up to her and was telling her to calm down, and then the people at the Victoria's Secret were not stopping her. Instead of telling her, you know what, get out, you're tripping.
Yeah.
They let her go in there and she spazzed in the store. And when in fact you should not be, we can't do it. Shoes on the other foot. You have a Hispanic lady going in there spazzing out in Victoria's Secrets, and she hits a white lady. You think she was gonna walk after the police came?
Right.
The police came to that scene, got the incident report. The white lady got to walk off. She got to walk off. After you didn't hit somebody, you didn't chase her around the store. You got to leave. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I was gonna say you realize how stupid and destroyed. I ain't gonna say stupid, but destroyed you have to be to sit there and entertain some shit like that against your people, to where you feel like that woman was that. It fucks me. That's why I can't watch the news, sir. That's why I can't. When stuff like that happens, it hurts me so bad, man. I'm like, it makes me want to go do something. Like real talk. That's crazy. That's crazy when our people being victimized like that and our people can't even see it. Like what kind of
Right.
I guess that's Malcolm X said, you bamboozled. I guess that's definitely
Right.
You a willing fool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
And you know, like I said, and that was heavy what you said right there, because that's just a proof of white supremacy, where you might have other. You got something to say?
So like you said, that's white privilege.
Well, that's
finest.
to the finest.
Man.
If you ever think you seen, that's white privilege, where you call the police. No, she called the police on the lady.
Wow.
The white lady screaming and saying she's threatening me. Everything.
Wow.
And everything that the sister said is on camera. She ain't told the lady nothing. She didn't even say you hit me, B, I'll beat you up. Nothing. But the white lady said she's threatening me, and she's crying over the phone. And then when the police get there, she start crying more. And the police didn't even hear the sister out. The sister got hit. So you know that's.
Oh, the police hit the sister?
No, the police came. They got the incident report, and they seen it. I mean, they barely heard the sister, but then they talked to the white lady. The white lady's crying. And she's sporadic. The police they didn't do nothing to her. They wrote a report for the other sister, like, here, take this in. Hey, you got the video of that? Here, email us the video. And then you see the end of the video, the lady's at the police department, because she's like, you know what, I'm taking this further, because I'm writing one on y'all too, because y'all didn't care. The police looked at her, one of them looked at her like, just like that, like, girl, you ain't nothing. This white lady right here means more to me. That's why it's important for us to get in these classes, because, you know, they said, I'm paraphrasing, it says, surely oppression makes a wise man mad.
Oh, damn right.
It'll make you angry to where you just, I'm tired of it. You don't want to see that type of stuff. But we can't be carnal and think, oh, we're going to fight America. America's, you see America taking over other nations through war, through the sword. We can't battle them. We have to call to the Lord. Man, we are the Lord's people. But we have to really truthfully understand that. We got to stop thinking that we just the scum of the earth that these people put here. We are not. We are the Lord's people. We are here because we didn't do what the Lord said. It has nothing to do with these heathen nations. But until we come correct and we live by the laws and statutes that the Lord put in front of us, we will be continuing to see these things.
That's right.
But the Lord has given us something. He gave us the I.S.U.P.K. He's given us the truth of the Bible. He's telling us how to read the Bible. When you look at the Bible, it ain't that smooth song no more. You get that sour taste. You taste the bitterness. It ain't that Christian stuff. You know, the Christian pastor tell you every damn thing nice and you feel bubbly. But that's not the gospel that the Lord was talking about. You know, the Lord is letting us know why we are suffering in this place, why we are put here and we're condemned to things because we're not keeping the law, statutes, commandment. Right now, you can look at our people on the internet. Some of our people doing mukbangs with fucking crab, shrimp, lobster. We just love it. Like it's Mukbangs. You ever seen them? Mukbangs. You know what those are?
No, sir.
It's a video where people be eating it's like big plates of food and they just sitting there smacking and shit.
Oh, okay.
But people think it's therapy. That shit's disgusting.
Yeah, calm.
I remember my sister used to smack she see cereal. I used to get fucking mad. My mom would tell me to shut up. But I'd be like, Mom, she can't sit and stop smacking.
Man.
Now people's in there. That's disgusting to me. I ain't no damn therapy for me. And especially when the Chinese people do it. It's just the fucking most disgusting thing. It's just disgusting. So I like it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't know if you've seen that Asian man that comes out on Facebook. He's like cracking the crab. He's cooking it. The crab is trying to get out of the
It's
pan.
alive.
It is alive. He's cracking it open, throwing soy sauce, teriyaki, ponzu type of stuff.
You know what I'm saying? What happened to the white people that used to love stuff like that? Go to China on their holidays sometimes, man. They be burning dogs alive in the street. Then start eating. You know, white people go crazy for that because they love dogs more than they love blacks and Hispanics. You can see some blacks and Hispanics get killed in the street. See some dogs get killed in the street. Watch every white activist come out. It's a lie here, and that's a sad thing where we're not more important than a goddamn dog. That's why we get in these classes. We learn our history. This is a Lashawan, Qadash. We learn our language, so we don't have to be caught in that. We understand what it is. A lot of our people are just mad, and they take their anger in. But then yet, when they get these jobs again, you got to go back out to the world. You got to beg for a job and stuff. Now you got to kiss butt again, instead of realizing, man, the Lord got me here. I'm going to do this, and it'll make you feel a lot better when you understand where you at, and what field you playing on, what team you on, rather than being docile because that's what America's taught you to be. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're going to kick it off into the alphabets. We're going to go ahead and go into the alphabets. Sometimes I go into these topics because there's certain things that's happening currently and some things that have to be addressed. So maybe somebody can go on YouTube or whatever, what have you, and look it up. A lady spazzing in Victoria's Secret, she just ain't got, and you have to look at yourself and say, damn, what if that was me? What if that was my girl? Spazzing. I guarantee they would have handcuffed my girl and her ass would have been in jail. Hitting a white woman too, they would have gave her assault. She running around there, Victoria's Secret, we told her to get out. So, that's more of a reason to get into these classes and get right. So you don't have to be under this strictness and you know what to do. If the lady's in the I.S.U.P.K, that black lady, she would have left the store. Forget them free panties and them coupons that they send to you in the mail. Come back later when you don't have to deal with Karens like that. Mm-hmm. Because a Karen is just, the daughters of the clan themselves. The lady who lied on Emmett Till. That's the lady that lied on the brother in the elevator in Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. These people cause chaos, and they know what they're doing. When she's crying like that, they know what they're doing because that's supremacy. They know that ain't nothing worse than hearing a white woman scream.
It's like you said. Emmett Till was a little boy, right?
Emmett Till was a little kid that was lied on about so-called whistling at a white woman, and they beat him. They shot him. They did him horribly. It did him so bad, his face, he wasn't recognizable. He was a little handsome little kid. His mother said no. They were like, it's a closed casket. She said, no, open the casket. I want the world to see what they've done to my son. Wow. And if you look up Emmett Till, you see his face. You see this before picture. They did him horribly. You know what I'm saying? And that's the America. That wasn't too long ago. It was like in the 60s. Yeah. That wasn't too long ago. Now we think about it. My mom was born in 51. She was alive when that happened. She was a little kid. My mom, she passed, but this ain't too long ago. Put it that way. The way they do us, I mean, we can't even say Emmett Till. We can say Trayvon Martin.
SHALAM, sir. 1955.
1955. Yeah, 1955. We can even say Trayvon Martin. He was told not to pursue the kid, a kid. And the man pursued him, and he shot the little boy. So, I mean, this is America. But this is I.S.U.P.K. We know where we are in America, and we know we're not to be. And not to be fighting, or we're not going to be arguing and fighting with these people. The devil's going to do his work, but the Lord is going to protect us as long as we're righteous people. You see it? You see it? So I'm going to have the brother come up. He's going to write out the alphabets. If you do need a chart, go ahead and put your email in, and I'll send it to you through your email. It's no sweat. Oh, you come. Shit. I don't know. Somebody gave me this ring with us. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. That's wild. That's wild. It's hot in here. Does the AC work?
Yeah, it works. You just take a little bit because it's been off all day. So it's, you know what I'm saying? But the heat collects in here kind of easy.
Right.
But once it gets going, it get cold as hell in here.
Okay.
They gotta give it a while. You gotta have it on before y'all get here, but I wasn't able to do it stay like that. So just dealing with what I'm dealing with. So I didn't want to just have the shit running all day while I was gone.
I feel it. I feel it's covering my head.
It's gonna cool down, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just conditioned to cooler temperatures and whatever that, you know what I'm saying?
I know I had my AC on in my car before I got here.
Yeah.
It ain't that hot. It ain't that hot outside.
It's suffer right now. And I was like, yeah, but that's not today's actually cooler day. So I get through for that.
No, it's too hot.
For it to be better. I promise.
Woo. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, that really. That's not water.
That's perfect.
Okay, what he's writing in, this is the ancient Hebrew. And as you know, well, you might not know, in the English language, they write from left to right. And in the ancient Lashawan Qadash, that holy tongue, we write from right to left. So as I go through it, I'm going to go from here to here, from here to here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the alphabets. This is A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Ta. And those are the sounds of the Lashawan Qadash. The holy tongue. This is in the ancient. Now the sounds of the Lashawan do not change, but in the Assyrian, it has different characters. It has different characters. The sounds of the Lashawan does not change. Just so you get so you know ahead. The sounds do not change. When you say Abba Gada, does not change. It's still the same. So now when you think about these fake Hebrew groups, where do they get Yahshua? Where do they get that? Even with the so-called Greek man, where do you get Jesus from? In Lashawan. In our holy tongue. That came from the Lord. Where do you get that name from? You can spell Yahweh, the power, Yahweh Shai, and out of the Lashawan. You can't get a Jesus out of it. You can't get no Yehuda. You can't get no Yahshua. I forgot what's the other weird name. What's the other? Oh,
What they say, Elohim?
Elohim. Maybe have names. Go ahead.
It's like it's everybody made, but then the fake Hebrew groups and stuff, they be when they say the alphabet, they say exactly this.
Yeah, exactly. And guess where they got that from?
Exactly.
A lot of these groups like to say things, but this chart came from One West.
That's right.
This is a One West chart. And it's proven. You can find the ancient artifacts of the Paleo Hebrew. You can find these on stones from thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago.
Like you said, petroglyphs, right?
Right.
On there.
You can find it. It's not something that we made up to be our own He-Man Christian haters group. This is an actual language, and from the Lord.
That's right.
You know, I'm gonna go back over these sounds again. I'll go about it a couple times, and then we'll go into the Assyrian. But like I said, the sounds do not change. It's the characters of the alphabets. So it's ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha. There's a similar sound in there. It's a ka, but this is a cha. Remember when you say this is cha, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, fa.
Is it koala or
This right here.
yeah?
This is a ka. This is cha.
What about the Q and A?
Kwa.
Wow.
Kwa. You start. You aba gada ha wa za ka ta ya ka la ma na sa I pa tza kwa ra sha ta. You start saying it fast as you keep start writing. It's repetitive. They even got a song of the alphabet, but it doesn't sound right to me. You ever heard that song? The my God, just
Oh, like the ABC song?
it's like ABC. It's like ABC, but you imagine that's how they taught us. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the hand up, but it's just how they taught us. How we get ABCD, the same. We can my God, ha. You know what I'm saying? But this was the language before the ABCs. Oh, wow. Right. Turn that off. No volume. Okay, I'm gonna go over the sounds again. Like I said, if you guys do need a chart, if you're out there online, go ahead and put your email in. I'll send you a chart so you can work on it at home. This is ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, fa. And these are the ancient characters. And the ancient came well before the Assyrian. The Assyrian came in the Assyrian captivity. Most of the time when you're over there in the Middle East, I mean, we're not there, but when you look over there and you see these so-called Jewish men with Jewish, not Jews. So let's not, we're going to get that correct. When I say Jewish, it's not even it's not nothing good. You know what I'm saying? Jewish is not a Jew. You know, what did Hitler call them? What did Hitler call them? He called them the bastards. Because they're claiming somebody else's father. You know, even Hitler knew that the so-called Jewish man was a damn liar. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Hitler, I don't know, so they put them over there after being in Hitler's rulership. Under Hitler's rulership, they sent them to Israel, supposedly to their homeland. But they are not the children of God. We see that. It's not peace over there. It's nothing but war. They had war with people who said they didn't know who these people were. These people just showed up in the 60s. So,
Talaki, sir. He attended the Olympics in 1930 or 35, 36, somewhere around there.
right.
And he saw Owens, the best
Jesse
runner at the
Owens.
time. And he looked at one of his cadets and he's like, that's the jewels of the Lord that America has.
Right.
And he meant to say that Talaki, the Negro, is the real Jew, and not these bastards that he was.
Yeah, they knew that.
Serving.
Hitler even knew that. That's why he didn't care so much for the Jew. To be German to have blonde hair was not a real. It wasn't a hereditary. It wasn't a real race. It was a bred-in race. To be a German, has a blonde hair and blue eyes, they have recessive genes. That's not a strong gene at all. Recessive is dying. You see why they shed so much, like dog fur. I'm not trying to be like degrading, but yeah, that's what it was like. It's like dog fur they have. Blue eyes, you know, blue eyes not as well, their eyes are weak. But you see our people, we want the blue eyes. We put the contacts in. Sisters run around with the blonde wigs, not knowing that it's a recessive gene. You should be happy with your kinky hair, your black hair, your brown hair. Be happy with yourself. Because America makes you fall in love with them, but fall in love with a nation that doesn't love you, but wants you to love them back. That's America. I'm gonna go over this. I'm gonna go over these sounds again, and then we're going straight into the Assyrian. It says ba ga da ha wa za cha ta ya ka la ma na sa I pa za kwa ra sha fa. All right, we're going to take this down, and then we're going to go straight into the Assyrian. This guy's brother trying to work smart. He said, nigga, where did you learn octagon? I don't know if y'all ever seen that Dave Chappelle. It was a stop sign. He was talking about how, like, back in the slavery times, you know, the so-called Negro, they would sneak and read so they educate themselves.
Do what?
Sneak and read.
Sneak?
Yeah.
Read?
Yes, and like learn.
When
They stop at the stop sign.
yeah, when it was pimps,
Yeah.
the one when they went back in time.
He was like, nigga,
They weren't allowed to read, right, sir? We weren't allowed?
No,
Yeah, that's
they
right.
wanted us to be docile and retarded. Some slave masters would teach their slaves how to read. When they wanted them to read the Bible and teach the rest of the slaves. But other than that, they really didn't want us. They just wanted you to be a dog. They wanted to make you more animalistic than they could.
That's true, sir, because I've been reading up on George Washington Carver, and he was a slave, and he said the reason he was very knowledgeable is because Moses Carver taught him stuff. Other than that, he would have never been George Washington Carver, who created peanut butter and all that.
Right.
Because he was a great inventor, but it had a lot to do with the damn white man who taught him and put him in school. But not every slave master would do that. They would keep you very literate.
The reason why they'll do that is because they'll read, they'll mail, and you know things like that. You know, make blueprints and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because you know what I mean. They wanted them to be smart. You know what I mean? They were just teaching them what they wanted them to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we know why we say he is the devil, because he is a great deceiver. You know, and he deceived many of us. He deceived us to think that Jesus was white.
For real. Homosexual.
That was I said, if we didn't understand that was a heavy attack.
That was.
If you could find any, they say he was the most cunning hunter. He was cunning. He was cunning. He was smart. They thought about it. We can make the Lord in our image, and we will have rulership over this nation. You know, because we can look at it. You go to a black grandma house, she got white Jesus in the hallway. You go to your Mexican grandma house, she got Jesus.
White Jesus on there.
Tell them that ain't Jesus.
Yeah, he flipped.
And they're gonna kick your ass out.
They will. No, for real. They will. You know, I still talking like that.
And that's how much white supremacy has us. And you know, it's funny, but then it's a damn shame. It's really sad.
Right.
Because who if they have Jesus, who do we have?
Yeah. What?
We have their God. Then every person that we see, they must be gods. Or why would we? That's why we look at them like that. Instead of like being mad at them, we look at them like they're gods, or God's people. But we know through his acts that he is not a man of God. You know, because they do a lot of nasty stuff. You know, anything. I've seen a video. There's a white man who slept with every animal. He tried to sleep with like damn near every animal he could. He even slept with a snake. Slept with pigs, horses, dogs.
Well, that's where he slept with.
There's a man, he was having sex. This wasn't too long ago with animals.
Well, in Europe, they have animal brothels.
Yeah, I
You
seen.
go in and it's like a whorehouse, but
They put a thong on a pig.
Salaki said, you know what? You're absolutely
By saying
right.
it.
You're right, because my grandfather, when I went to Mexico, I was little, I must have been like 5, but him and my uncle were talking, and that's a Spaniard custom or whatever from Europe. Or whatever. They would tie up a donkey and get it on with the donkey.
Right. Guess who else does
That's
that?
nasty.
And those Arabs do that. Some of their young men. I seen a video where this little dude, this little kid, the kid was no more than 12, 13. And they looked down, and this little boy was humping a donkey. And they said, that's going to be a man. So you telling me you would, it's disgusting. You know, I don't want to go into it, but you put that thing on a donkey and then you're going to put it in a real woman? That's disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's disgusting. But I'm going to go over the sounds again. This is the ancient. Like I said, in the Lashawan Qadash, the sound does not change. Only thing that changes is the characters of the alphabets. This is A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Kha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. And there's something else. I'm sure if you're watching the video, you noticed. About 4 people watching it. Most High in Christ. These are double characters. On some of these sounds, some of these alphabets have double characters. This first character, the character at the top is the first character. The first character is used in the beginning or the middle of a word. The second character is always used at the end of a word. We're going to do a little bit of vocabulary. We can squeeze it in. And I'll show you how to use that double character. I'm going to go over the sounds again, though. Like I said, the sounds don't change. But when you're writing in Assyrian, the characters of the alphabets change. It's just A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Kha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. I might kind of like give space. I mean, and if any of you guys have a problem like with the visual, let us know. But if you need a chart, put it in the comment board. Put your email in there. I'll send it to your email. So you can take this home and work on it. You can exercise it. It's 24 hours in a day. Most so-called Americans, well, you know, the 12 tribes, we are the 12 tribes, but you notice now everybody's consumed in their phone. People spend more time on their phone than they spend doing anything nowadays. You go in the restroom, you take your phone. You in your car, you with your phone. You can take time and put your phone down. Matter of fact, put the chart in your phone and look at it in your phone and exercise it. That's what you can do. Take 10 minutes out your day. Because all you're doing is building the character in yourself. You're learning something that pertains to you. Being getting your bachelor's degree doesn't pertain to you. Who said you need a bachelor's degree to be a damn doctor? At the end of the day, you got to get hands-on experience. So you can go to school or you can get the hands-on experience because you're going to have to get it anyway. That's what goes with it. The degree is just that long time process that they want to indoctrinate you, whatever studies they want to teach you, whatever philosophy, whatever book that they have for their school curriculum, so you can get that in your mind and then go hands-on. You dig? It sounds crazy, right? You go to school for a degree, but at the end of the day, you have to be hands-on with most of the things you do. And I ain't saying psychology But in math and things like that, you do have to learn. But when it comes to being like a doctor or a nurse and stuff like that, it takes hands-on experience. I can read a book all day and then go to the hospital and not know nothing.
Right.
But it takes hands-on. That's where you get. So as far as your education goes, it still goes in the hands-on, and you have to have the actual experience. If a doctor showed a person who didn't go to school and showed them everything, they can be a doctor too.
Right.
But since you have to go to school and then go through all this debt and stuff, that's what it is. It's about putting you in further debt. Back in the days, they had things called trades. You learned a hands-on trade that can help you out for the rest of your life. Now you got to go to school to get these trades. You know what I'm saying? They changed up the curriculum in school. When I was in school, I ain't that old, but I was born in the 80s. They had wood shop. They had auto body. They had all types of things. They had welding classes. So you can go to class and come out with a trade. You know what? I don't want to go to school. I want to be a welder when I leave here. And welders make good money. Mechanics make good money. But now you can't, they don't have most of those trades in schools anymore, because now they want you to go to school further after school so you can pay them back for something you could learn hands-on. You know what I'm saying? So as far as with the education, go ahead.
Even agriculture, sir. Remember we used to have
Oh yeah,
agriculture, gardening, and all that stuff.
exactly.
All that stuff.
The most important things. It dumbs you down. And I thought, and this is another thing that tripped me out, not to go off subject, right? But my grandmother, I thought about it, most of the food she cooked, I mean on holidays she cooked turkeys and stuff like that, but she made greens, green beans, or cabbage.
Yeah.
Why they made these foods back in the days, they only ate what they could grow.
Yeah.
Back on the land, back on the farms and stuff like that, they ate what they grew. Nowadays, we got to go to the market.
Right.
We can't have gardens in our yards now. Some spots it's illegal to grow vegetables. Yes. Yes. There's certain places that you can't just grow. You cannot have a full garden. But that's how our ancestors used to live. Those things like that, they ate. They lived off their land. Now our kids don't know nothing. My grandmother, you ever seen them shrubs in the ground, on they look like weeds?
Oh yeah.
My grandma used to call them wild greens. They would cook those too. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, you would eat off your land. Nowadays, kids, we don't know what the generation like before us, they have a little more skill. We don't know what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They ate what they made. I mean, what they grew, they ate. They had tomatoes, onions, peppers, all that on the land. That's what they will put in. Now we got to go to the grocery store, and now you got to get organic. You can't just get fruit anymore. You got to get, because this is seedless. Seedless is not natural, and it's just so much crap into it. You don't know what you eating now. This is a clone fruit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, it was different. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's America's dead. He's the devil for sure. He's the devil for sure, because if it was like that, we wouldn't have to struggle as much. Imagine if most people knew how to grow off their lands like they made them do in slavery. You wouldn't have so much welfare. You wouldn't even need WIC most of these times. Because a person would have, I got my own produce. It only started from a seed. I was growing seed. My other ones that get more seeds, I grow, and I have my own. I just give me a little land. Nowadays, you can't even do that. Most people don't even. Nowadays, crazy part, most people don't even own their land. Own houses. Most people renting, because they make property ridiculous. Little houses for $300,000, and this person makes $15 an hour. Now he can rent it, And it's crazy because he can rent it. He should be able to buy it. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, everything is so, America is just like a big debt. Yeah, big debt. You see most Edomites, when they go through debt, they can't handle it. They kill themselves.
They run their glasses.
They go kill their job. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. So went deep, but I'm back to my topic. My point of saying this is that we go to these schools and get these educations, and we still don't know who the hell we are. We learn so much stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but we don't know who we are as a nation, where we came from. We might know a little bit of our history, but we don't know realistically. We don't know anything past slavery.
It's like I said, my father and my brother, my older brother's landscaper and gardeners, and he used to tell me that blacks were better gardeners than the Mexicans because of the fact they did a lot of cotton picking, so they had to exit those type of classes because either the blacks were going to be great musicians or great farmers, great auto mechanics, and they were like, nah, let's put them to school so they could get in debt, and they're always locked paying that loan like constantly.
Right.
And we can't grow anything like we used to.
I think about it like when I think about the blacks and Hispanics, they're like the same people, right? So I would expect, even just like what you said, it was heavy because in slavery they used the slaves to garden for them because if they knew how to garden themselves, they didn't need no damn slaves. But they needed them. Those slaves knew how to grow. They knew how to produce. They knew all these things. That man didn't want to do that. At a point in time when they start coming with unions, they start getting bored. Because then after that, when they freed the slaves would try to get jobs. And they said, well, we're going to have a union to protect that we have jobs and y'all just be our sharecroppers. A sharecropper is a free slave who works somebody else's land for a so-called piece of that man's land. But you're still on his land. Just like the slaves always been.
That's what they did for Mexican Americans here in California.
That's what they do. What do they do, sis?
They took their land and have them work their new land for themselves to be able to have a house and just a place to stay at.
Exactly. Sharecropping. They would do that. That's how they would keep you in slavery without letting you know you're in slavery. You know what I'm saying? They will make you work their land for a piece of it. And in the end, you don't really have their land. This is still their land. They have the deed that you live on their land because you're working. You're working your butt off until you die on their land. You know that's how America's been. America just got smarter. You know you still see the Israelites in produce working the fields. They're still working the fields. About mass production. Then you see the so-called Judites. You see them doing a lot of different things. Now they have them working in prisons. Put them in prison reform jobs. Put them in when they're in prison. Now you back in slavery. Now you gotta work. You ain't got no money in jail. We're gonna pay you cents on the dollar. Pay you 50 cents a day, something like that. And they working in full factories. I had a cousin did 18 years. I think he was doing the conduits, AC. I'm like, how do you do that shit? They did it in prison. Conduits, AC, all that running conduits. You know what I'm talking about?
Hard work,
Yes, in the attics and stuff. They had him doing all that. But you just imagine prison. That's what they would do in prison. They give you just another thing. Go ahead.
That's to keep the prison going.
That's to keep the prison going.
Keep the stock healthy.
Yeah, man.
So like you said, the general said the prison is a slave ship on land, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You gotta think about it. That's why there's some. Now you see That's why you see a lot. That's why you see a lot of blacks and Hispanics in prison now. They found another spot that they can trap them. Let's put them. Let's put drugs in their communities. Let's poison their people and let's put them in jail for trying to feed their family because they ain't had no other thing, nothing else to do. Now they're in prison. Now they working for the prison system. And they get money. That's slavery again.
It's a lucrative business for them, though, right? For them, it's a lucrative business.
It's very lucrative.
Yeah.
It keeps the population down. They don't want to see a lot of Hispanic babies. They want to see a lot of black babies. They don't want to see that. And they know blacks and Hispanics make babies. Because when we depressed, what's the best thing a person could do when they depressed? They want to have sex.
Yeah.
You know, they can be broke as hell. They want to have sex. It's something to relieve something while you're going through something. Sounds crazy, but it's very true. You know what I'm saying? You could be having a bad day.
Yeah.
Now have some sex, you might feel a little bit better. But that's how they would get us. But now we have too many kids. We're on the county. But in fact, there's more white people. Studies show there's more white people on the county than there is blacks and Hispanics. Because most blacks, if they got felonies and stuff, I'm not sure if they can even get the count. Go ahead.
I know for drugs, they took it out. If you got a drug case, you can get the food stamps. But I was tripping on that white privilege. Go back to that white privilege. I got a neighbor, you know, I come from up there. And every time my rib go there, she, white privilege. So I'm rolling one day. I didn't see nothing. Like, I bring it to the ghetto, like, to see what your car looking like. It don't work over there. Like,
Right.
like,
But you can look at a lot of white people with food EBT. And they look at you when you guys see EBT.
Yeah, I think that's it.
What's another thing that's heavy? I know where I live at, I'm like, for some reason, a lot of liquor store dudes, they be talking to me. Yeah, man, what is that on your shirt? Just talking like small talk. You know, I go in there for to get my strong or whatever. I talk to them a little bit. But I've seen on many occasions, there are families, you ever see them store, like the store have Gatorade, 50 cents if you buy 10. They'll be in there buying a lot of them for their store. And guess what she's paying with? EBT. Now she's paying, they're funding their business through the county that she's getting from the assistance. Wholesale. Spanking.
So like I said, I do the same thing. I grab all this stuff and I go and sell it to my construction and gardeners. Also coming down those. I'm always on a hustle. I'm Mexican. I'm like, soda.
Right.
Spend like $40, come back, make $80. And the county paid for it. And it's as they should.
Right.
As they should.
I'm talking for us. That's kind of, it's kind of well deserved. But when it comes to them, it's like they're beating the system 3 times. You put a commodity in a neighborhood what really destroys the neighborhood. I ain't saying that liquor isn't a good thing. Sometimes drinking a little liquor, but when you put it if you put it in a society where most of the people are poor, they tend to act out. Now you put this. Now it seems to be a poison. Now you put liquor somewhere. Now people are they're drinking. My husband probably whooping on his wife because he's drunk and he's out of control. Get drunk and do many things. But they can come over and they can take advantage of that because they know where to put the liquor. They don't put liquor stores in Beverly Hills.
Hell no.
You don't see that. You don't see that, but you see it in the ghetto and the barrios. You see that. They put them there because they know. Now it's correct. When he coming from a hard goddamn day of work, he gonna make sure he feed his family, but he gonna get his cases of beer. And he finna make sure that he's chilling. You know what I'm saying? Brothers finna go get their oldies, 40s. They finna get they might be chilling, but we finna drink, we finna chill. You know what I'm saying? But they do that because they live off of our poverty. They know that we're suffering. They know we need something. You know what I'm saying? That's why they put these things in. That's why you got drug stores, you got guns. You notice that in the hood you see gun stores even. Even though they necessarily knew need guns, but only because they've been put in a bad position. But go ahead, my bad.
But so like I said, it's true because when I used to do gardening and landscaping with my brother and my father, even at 12 o'clock, all the Mexicans take a little siesta. They knock out, they put the little sombrero in the bag. And my dad, I was little at the time, but my dad always in the cooler, had tequila or Modelo Corona on the jar. It's something we do though. It's like we feed the family. I remember my dad used to come in, I'm going to the grocery and then buy it. Let me get some mom. 24 like that.
Hey, put your email in, I'll send you the chart.
They pay for everything, the bills, rob the money. But that's what we do though. We drink.
That's it. But you imagine if we had those same liquor stores, if it was a Hispanic man who owned it. If he seen somebody and they looked like they was angry and they was tripping, they look for a bottle, I need another bottle, you probably gonna be like, nah, man, you okay, you don't need nothing else to drink. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see, you'll see it. Them dudes will see a bum walking in the store, he got a little more change up, he drunk out of his mind. One more sip, he ready to fall on his head. Them Arabs will sell him a drink quick. Take that. Then call the police on him from loitering. And then have their ass going to jail. But guess what? That bum gonna be right back out and go right back in the store and buy another beer.
So like you said, even the Sri Lankans, because they own a lot of the Sri Lanka people own a lot of in my neighborhood in North Iowa. It's all Sri Lankans. They'll sell you another drink. The dude will go open the bottle outside because he's done already. And he'll sit there peacefully, and then the cops come.
Exactly.
Throw his ass in the car. And they're like, why would you do that? I told the Sri Lankan, I met a guy. All commerce, business for God, business is crazy. He sells them a drink, calls the cop, get a little,
Right.
Damn, it's corrupt. It's like that.
But that's because we're destroyed people. They prey off of us. And that's why we can only do something. We just gonna get right, Yeah. It's a lot. That's why we in these classes. You know what I'm saying? We learn different things because we're building character through our nation, giving our people something to grab onto. Because our nation's been destroyed. You didn't even know your people wrote in that. Your people was writing in the ancient times. How we would write. Our dialects might be different, but we're gonna write, hey, we might write in the Paleo Hebrew here. Oh God. When we start working with each other because we shared a common language. Why do you think they had a slave that was leading them? A slave on a ship was leading them. He knew how to travel the terrains of the ocean. The ocean has currents. Ones that take you this way, it'll take you this way, but you gotta know how to jump around them. They had a slave leading them to the Americas. When they were looking for some slaves, they knew where to go. They knew where the Israelites were. They knew they were in South. They knew they were over there in Kemet with Mizraim, what we call Africa today, in West Africa, and they knew that they were in South America, in the Americas. Period. They knew there were people there. They knew that. That's why this is why the first slaves, they knew how to translate with the Native American people.
That's crazy.
They knew how to they knew how when slaves would run away, they would run to Mexico. It ain't like today where something happened. The Israelites come on. Come on, hide with us. You with us now. They can't get you no more. That's how it was. But America's so, and it destroys our nation to where we don't even love each other no more. They made us, the blacks and Hispanics, are the main rivals in jail.
Yeah.
And we're the main ones who come from the same damn neighborhoods. When this white guy kills somebody from Beverly Hills, he get put in the same jail with you. But he ain't the enemy. But these two niggas, this dude from East Coast, and that's LA gang. This dude's from Florencia 13. Same neighborhood. And they go to jail, now they at war with each other. But y'all grew up the same. Y'all the same neighborhood, same corners. But y'all hate each other. Who put that in place? Who put that in place? You think it was just y'all, like, we're gonna hate each other because he was my neighbor, but now I hate him? Nah, somebody set up a system. That's why they don't want y'all to trade. Like even the movie Blood In, Blood Out. Y'all seen that movie? Miklo, if you really think about the boy named Miklo, was a goddamn Edomite.
It was.
And he got with the metal. That nigga was the head of the Mexican mafia. Straight heathen. He knew Spanish. His mama was Mexican. But we know, of course, the mother is not the progenitor. The father is. So he's a damn heathen running a Mexican gang. So of course he's gonna have hatred, especially for some black people. I've seen it where, just talking personal experience, I have been to jail before. I've seen the white boys trade with the Mexicans. I didn't have the white boys trade with the blacks. But me and this Mexican dude, he wanted to give me this cookie. He told me he couldn't give me his cookie because he didn't want to get DP. He didn't want to get beat up because he couldn't share with me. But when we get back out on the streets, we're the closest to each other. The white boy don't live in the barrio. He don't live in the hood. We're the closest, but the white boy can come in and trade with both of us and play neutral. That was something for me, like, and I was just like, that's cold. That's cold. The politics of America make us hate our own people. You got, what are them dudes from Mighty Salvatrucha? What are they? What are they? Salvador. You got normal Mexicans and Salvadorians hating each other.
Yeah.
You tell a Salvadorian he's Mexican, he want to go off on you. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they better than Mexicans. But they like the same. They're the same.
Yeah, but if I could, it was a devil, right? And he was part of a gang. He was a Sultano, right? And then he went into prison. He became a high-ranking member in the Mexican mob. And then he's the one who brought the the devils and the Latinos together. Right. You know what I mean? Because he's a devil himself. And then he helped separate the Latinos and the blacks.
Right.
And it's always a devil, you know what I mean, who comes amongst blacks and Latinos.
Could you imagine that? The blacks and Hispanics got together in LA right now on police justice, on everything. You couldn't stop it then. There's always something that keeps the hatred going. I seen a documentary on Bloods and Crips in 1992. And the Bloods and the Crips were trying to truce. They wanted a truce. The police said, I don't think it's gonna ever happen. But the gangsters said, we want this truce. Because you know what that tells you? That the white man, he was like, I'm gonna sabotage any goddamn truce y'all have. Because I'm gonna keep y'all hating each other. I'm gonna keep y'all down. Now we got Mexicans killing Mexicans. We got blacks killing blacks. That was the best trick you could do. And it's crazy because it's not, when you think about gangbanging, it's not racial. It's a self-hate organization. It's really a self-hating organization. 18th Street don't get along with MS-13. All these other old gangs, Manavia don't get along with this gang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all Crips don't get along with the Bloods.
The crazy part about that, if I could, is that in the pen, they have to come together.
They have to come
You know
together.
what I mean?
They do.
They have to set that street beef aside and come together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is crazy.
That's the crazy part.
It's
Go
ludicrous.
ahead.
Man. So,
But like when I grew up in Dago, San Diego, so it's not, we don't have Mexican and black beef. It
Right,
started a while and then it got crushed. Like when I was doing my stuff, I run past my essay house. Hey, quick, come up in here and stash all your shit in the refrigerator, and that's how it was with me. Like, so I didn't experience that till I went to prison. Like,
Right.
I experienced racism until I went to prison. Like, and then I don't really get into it with the Mexicans in prison. It ain't because I
Grew up with.
where I grew up, we don't have that type of beef. So it's usually if I'm in a riot because
You had
the
to.
13s and the East Coasts and all that stuff, type of shit. Like,
But like he said, that's so heavy. But then you think about the South Siders and the Northerners.
Yeah.
They're both Mexicans. I don't give a fuck what prison they went to. They will not get along. Right now, I heard that they are trying to truce it right now. But before, man, they still hate each other. And it's only from a 500-mile radius from from Southern California to Northern California. Y'all both in California. Y'all hate each other. Y'all go through the same oppression and y'all hate each other. And we have to. This is why we have these classes in I.S.U.P.K. is to teach self-love. If I love myself, I can love you. I can love my brothers better. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And that's definitely a commandment, sir, to love each other.
Love thy brother as I love thyself, right? That's a commandment. And if people took this on, I wouldn't look at their brother and say, damn, look at this red shoes. Oh, he a blood. Or look at his shoes. He got some blue shoes. Oh, he a Crip. Or I wouldn't look at him. Another dude wouldn't have you look at somebody's tattoos. When I was younger, I used to do that. If I want to find out where you're from, I'm looking at your arm, looking at your neck, because I want to see who you is, to see if you're a potential threat. Just because you said you was from this neighborhood, then I find out you from that neighborhood, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? And you probably didn't do it. My uncle got killed from over there by somebody that's from that same neighborhood. Now I hate you. And you don't even know the dude who killed my uncle. That's how sick our minds are. That's how Israel is. This is why we go. We got the classes, the I.S.U.P.K. That's why we have these certain classes. Is to wake up the body of Christ, who we truly are. The nature of the man that we are. We are a righteous people. We are a righteous nation. We just ain't no criminals and thugs. That's a jacket that's been put on us by the devil. As soon as they get in these classes, you see brothers come in these classes, brothers from different hoods. He from San Diego, he from LA, you from LA, she from LA. But you imagine you're in the world, y'all might be saying, oh, this is what neighborhood I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is just, we got people from everywhere that's coming and they're learning about who they really are. And this is what the classes are. To find out who you are, wake yourself up. The Lord, and it ain't you even waking yourself up. But when you come in these classes, know the Lord got you here. You might think, oh, I'm doing this. No, the Lord doing that. Because if the Lord didn't see fit any of us being here, he could destroy us. I mean, I'm old. I didn't have friends. I got friends that died, like got killed. And some of these people were, at the time of my mindset, they were better human beings than me. And they dead. And the Lord chose you to get you here. So you got to understand when the Lord calls on you, you got to do that work. listen to it. It's hard because you don't want to do this shit. It's crazy to say because you couldn't imagine telling yourself this years ago when we were getting high and all that. Hey man, you gotta go teach class today. Hell with that class. Wake my people up. My people don't never wake up. This is the mindset of a slave. We hated ourselves. Go ahead.
So like I was just telling Officer coming down the way over here that the Lord He has shown us favor and grace because I was just seeing Officer Kamadai. He's picked up a skill doing all these garments and stuff.
Right.
Learning Hebrew and Lashawan, Qadash, a language that's been buried for such a long time. And Most High Christ, Commanding General YAHANNA, has set it up to where we could get all this. You know, all those wood shops that were taken away from us, the auto mechanic,
right?
Even better than that.
The talents can be used. The brother got a special gift he can make some money from, especially make his brother look good. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more important. The money's cool, but your brother coming in with them armbands on, man. I still ain't got no armbands, but when I be seeing them armbands, I be like, man, that shit is heavy. We see the armbands, the headpiece, you looking like, man, that brother look good. You know what I'm saying? Not no gay look, but you see a brother, you say, man, look at that brother. He looks strong. He looks masculine. You know what I'm saying? We walk the street together. They're like, what are you guys are? They the closest thing to say, you guys a motorcycle gang? Like, now ain't no motorcycle gang, but that's the closest thing you could think of because you think of motorcycle, you think of masculine. You see the beards, you see the men, the fringes. And then they're in some kind of gang. Like, no, they serve the Lord. Serve the Lord. And then you hear them talk. Oh, no, they're a hate group. And then you come into the classes, you start meeting, and you're like, man, that's the nicest brother I ever met. I came into classes, brother got my number. He said, man, let me get your number. He called me, hey, how you doing? You coming to class? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to class. I'm like, damn, he called me more than my own damn friends in the street. Making sure I come to the class, making sure, you know what I'm saying? Did you need some boots? You need to get all black? Let me show you how man, brotherhood is just crazy. Also, I can say it's a beautiful thing because you got people who are genuine. It's not a fake love. You know what I'm saying? We don't kumbaya each other every day, but it's real love at the end of the day. It's real love. And that's what we need as a nation. Real love. We don't need pacified love. I don't need my brother here. Here's a joint. Man, you going to do it with your girl. F your girl. Go get another hoe. Let's go get some hoes. We don't need no brother like that. You know, get a brother. He said, man, hey, you got your Bible? You got the sword with you? I here, pull this scripture for me. You pull the scripture, start reading, breaking you down, and give you some insight. Like, calm. Ain't the water, sir. You know what I'm saying? You need something to uplift you. That's what it's all about. We are a heavenly nation. The kingdom, when we return to the kingdom, it's going to be righteous. Even our slaves are going to say they are a righteous people. You imagine that. Back in slavery, when we was on slavery, our people wasn't saying the white man's a righteous man. Like, man, Slave Master Jim show is nice. We wasn't saying that. Every slave was the bitterest. He hated him with a passion. He said, I hate him, but I gotta love him because I gotta survive. Go ahead.
So like our ancestors like Geronimo, Harriet Tubman,
you talking about the warriors of them.
Yeah. They were smarter than us because at least they knew who the hell was the enemy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Us, we're trying to love them and shit after 500 years. I see my brother over here whooping a white guy's ass. Like, bro, just chill out. You can't do that. Instead of I'll go get that gun. We'll kill us together. Not like
right,
but you know what I mean? Like, nah, you gotta call the cops on the brother. He's hitting a white man. A white man don't deserve that. White man's the purest thing, he's nice, man. Why he brought a casserole? Why you gonna beat him up?
Right.
But it's like, we don't support each other when it comes to that.
Self-hate.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta start loving yourself.
I don't mean to go kill them.
No. Hey, the Lord is gonna do it.
Yeah, most definitely. Lord.
We cannot think carnally. You know, we didn't talk to them. Man, we're gonna go ahead and end this class. We'll be back next week on time. Hopefully we got both of the lives going up. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, Elatah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Hey, Shalom. I know people be like, you stopped it? I know people be like, man, nigga, finish your alphabet.